Oh, hi there. It's me, Sierra, the pool toy. You know, I was kind of just thinking about things like money and, pool toy's getting a little bit older. So, starting to wonder whether or not I'm going to be good for retirement. And, I've brought this up to friends of mine, and one thing that I've kind of realized lately is that a lot of us don't seem to have a huge amount of knowledge when it comes to retirement, like what kinds of accounts that you can have for retirement and how to be able to put your money away for retirement. Some people seem to think that just putting things into a basic savings account at the bank is good enough. You have your nest egg right there, you don't have it in stocks or anything else. And so, you're fine. You don't need to invest that money in anything. But, I wanted to talk to you today about some of these things like 401ks and IRAs and what those are, in the hopes that maybe you could find a little bit of something interesting from there. So, why don't we talk about it? But Sierra, you say, I'm still young. I don't even make that much money. And retirement is way over there. So what's the point of even looking at this stuff right now of 401k, IRA, just a bunch of numbers and letters? I don't know what it means. And, what's even the point of looking into that stuff right now if I'm so far off? And that's not a good mindset to have. The mindset that you need to have is the sooner that you get involved in taking control of your finances, especially planning for the future, that money is going to grow way larger than if you say start late. So if you start at 25, you're going to have way more set up and ready to go compared to if you started at 35. And it doesn't even take an insane amount of money. As you get older, you make more money as long as you're building on your skills and experience. You're going to be making more. So you'll be able to put in more later, but you can always start by putting in a little bit right at the start. And then that money's going to grow. You're going to be better off because you don't know if you're going to have like kids that are going to take care of you or if they want to take care of you. You don't know if there's going to be some sort of a government safety net that's going to catch you in case you run out of money somehow when you get older. And so just for your own security and your own peace of mind, it is important to pay attention to your money. So that's sort of the thing I want to talk about. So I want to talk about mostly, 401ks and IRAs because those are the more common things. There are other types of retirement accounts, like ones that if you work for the government, if you work for a nonprofit organization, or if you run your own business, there are other ways of saving for retirement. But I think the majority of us are going to be talking about, 401ks and IRAs. And so those are the two that I mostly want to focus on just because that's going to make it easier for us to actually talk about these things. And it's sort of where most of my experience is. And I want you guys to have at least a little bit, even just dipping your toes into the knowledge about retirement investing. Okay?
First, the 401k plan. A 401k is a retirement account set up through your employer to automatically pull money out of your paycheck into a personal retirement account to grow over time. By having the money get pulled automatically, it makes it much easier to save by not letting you spend it in the first place. Many employers will even encourage you to contribute to your 401k by matching your contribution up to a certain percentage of your income. So if you contribute $100 to your 401k, they'll also put in $100 into your account. It's free money. There is usually an upper limit to how much they will match, but you should focus on giving at least that much. There is an annual limit over $24,000 as of 2026, so if this is one of the first videos you've seen on the subject, you probably won't be hitting that. Any limits I do mention are for people under 50 years old. If you're older than 50, hi! Also, people over 50 are allowed to contribute more to their retirement in order to catch up. 401ks come in two flavors. Traditional is the way 401k plans were run since the 80s. You put your money in pre-tax, So before the government pulls money out of your paycheck, the money will grow over time, and when it's time to pull the money, you get taxed. One advantage of using a traditional account is that because the money is pre taxed, you can lower your income into a lower tax bracket. So if you're on the edge of your tax bracket, you can save on your annual tax bill by investing in a traditional plan. They do require a minimum distribution when you hit 73 years old, so you have to pull out money whether you want it or not, and it will add to the amount you get taxed, especially if you're still working a job. A Roth 401k is a newer idea from the mid 2000s. In this version, your money is taxed from your paycheck before getting invested and it grows over time. When it's time to pull the money out, the money is now tax free. It's pretty much a reverse of the traditional 401k plan tax wise. The advantage of the Roth plan is that you don't know how much taxes will be in the future, so getting the money tax free protects you from whatever the government decides in the future. You can't lower your tax bracket with it though. There's also not a required minimum distribution, so you can let the money keep growing if you wanted to. So, which do you choose? Well, they have advantages and disadvantages. Overall, most people are invested in the old traditional plans, but younger generations are strongly favoring the more recent Roth plans. It's going to depend on your personal situation, but if you're asking a pool toy, just get the Roth and forget about it. The last known in 401k plans. If you leave your employer, they don't want to manage your 401k anymore with their investments. So you need to move it into a rollover individual retirement account, IRA. You make an account with an asset management firm and fill out some forms to bring it over so you can start investing your money. Moving into IRAs, these are retirement accounts you just set up yourself. The same asset management firm you use for your rollover IRA can be used to set up your own personal IRA. These are just managed by you using the same methods to decide your money's distribution stocks, bonds, other things. These have a limit of $7,500 as of 2026. And these also come in the traditional and Roth flavors, with the same rules around taxes. They're just individual accounts for yourself. Remember that even though IRAs and 401ks come in two flavors, the limit applies to both versions combined. So you can put half into traditional and half into a Roth so long as the total is the annual limit. IRA has its own limit, and so does the 401k. I don't know how to pick how to invest my money though. Index funds? Bonds? Stocks? Do I just stick it in Nvidia, you might be asking? Let's not put our entire retirement into one stock, okay? A really easy way to invest is to pick a fund from your manager that has a retirement date. As an example, Vanguard has a series of target retirement funds where you pick the year closest to when you think you're going to retire. It'll automatically control how the money's distributed, starting with something for more aggressive growth and then tapering into safer investments when you get near retirement. Don't need a last second crash of the economy to ruin your retirement fund just before you quit your job. So, why invest in any of these? Two words: compound interest. Your money will grow and earn interest while invested. That growth of money gets even more interest. You're also regularly contributing more money into your account, which grows it more. Want an example? Let's say you contribute $100 a month into your IRA. You start in your 20s, retire in 40 years. The amount that you added from your bank account is $48,000 over that much time. Assuming a growth rate of 8%, which is an average historically, you'll have $313,000 when you retire. How about if you contribute the maximum into your IRA each year, doing $625 a month? 40 years at 8% annual interest, you'll have just over $1,950,000. You only put in $300,000 in those 40 years. That is massive. Now imagine you and your employer also contribute some to your 401k on the side. Both are vehicles for massive money growth. Interest rates will affect how much the money grows, but you can see how big of an effect it can have. The earlier you get started, the better. Keep in mind, you're going to be making more money the further along you get in your career. So if you're worried you're behind right now, you can always start now and work on getting caught up.
You know, we've only just kind of barely dipped our toes into this whole financial system of 401ks and IRAs. So I hope that this has been pretty educational for you and you at least learned a little bit about how to save for your future. But I guess, what is the next step that you need to take? Well, I think probably the first thing to do is that if you are working, to check with your employer and make sure that they're offering a 401k plan. And if they are, sign up, see how much they match, see how much you need to contribute. I think that would be a fantastic start. We also, if you're already good on your 401k plan, but you magically have a little bit extra money that you'd like to save over for the future, you could always start up your IRA and just get that established. So that for the future, you'll have a nice IRA that you contribute to as you get more wealth, as you grow in your career. But I think that's really all there is to it right now. I wanted to just do something a little different and just sort of drop a little knowledge on what is mostly my personal experience and then a little bit of extra research. And, if you guys like it, feel free to leave a comment. If you prefer my motivational and encouragement videos, leave a comment also. Either way, don't forget to like the video. Definitely like the video. Don't dislike the video. And I will see you all very soon. Woo!